This is a story about John. John is a 15-year-old boy, currently in Sec 4 normal academic stream, diagnosed with ASD in primary 2. There are some things that John used to like a lot. John loves Mummy. John loves the television. John loves YouTube. And John loves Tom and Jerry. As with all teenagers, the things they love change. This year, John loves Mummy. And John loves wrestling. Like other teenagers, there are things that John dislikes too. John dislikes scolding. John dislikes shouting. John dislikes physical education lessons. And John really dislikes social studies, especially since he scored a 0 in the first test this year. In class, John is not the easiest person to like. He's constantly stretching himself, and this is in total disregard for his classmates' personal space. Sometimes he hits them. Sometimes he sneezes in their direction. He refuses to take part in physical education, and often he will wander around on his own. John has his temper too. When he's angry, he will display actions like stomping his feet, shaking his fist in a threatening way, shouting, running away, and in the past when he was angry, he would take his phone up and call his mother. As quick as he is to get angry, he often is able to cool himself down and calm down relatively quickly. And when that happens, his most common phrase will be, "I'm sorry, please don't call Mummy." John holds his intelligence in high regard. He always believes that he's correct, and whenever he has a test score that is not to his satisfaction, he will make demands that the marks be changed. Not the answers be changed, but the marks be changed. Very often he's unable to understand why he failed the test, and he will insist that the marks be changed. And when that doesn't happen, which never happens, John will start to display symptoms of rage. He will start trembling, he will clench his fist, and at times he will display the negative behavior that we talked about earlier. But once again, the constant is once he cools down and he realizes that he had made an unfair or unjustifiable demand, he will say he's sorry, and he will always plead for us not to call his mummy. During the passing of Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, John was very confused as he watched the procession as well as all the other activities that was going on. It seemed as if he couldn't make sense of the concept of death. During one of the geography lessons that John had, where the class was watching videos of victims of an earthquake being stretched out, he, instead of showing sympathy like the rest of the class, he actually burst out into laughter and insisted that they were very funny. It was a very funny thing. Whenever he's tasked to do any form of group work, he understands that nobody wants to work with him, and he has a very ready solution that he will offer. He will do it alone, and he will often remark that Mummy will be his teammate and Mummy will work with John. John is very good when the learning involves memory work. So in lower secondary, it was not uncommon for him to score well for certain class tests. Whenever he scores well, John will mock his classmates and tell them they are stupid. Once during morning assembly, John proclaimed in a very, very loud voice to a pregnant female teacher that she was fat. The AED-LBS heard it and went over and reprimanded him, telling him that it was rude for him to say that and that the teacher was pregnant. His reply was, "John is sorry?" in a question form, which is very often when he needs to apologize. It seems to display that he is actually not aware that his actions were wrong. Such is the case study of John, and now we will talk about some of the interventions as well as their preventive and restorative that we have discussed and we think would be suitable for John's case study.